I was relaxing at home, well, Mum's place, looking after it while she's away on her campervan trip, when she rings me. And the dogs took off, and while she was running after them, she dropped her campervan keys. So she needs me to take the spare keys to Tekapo, which is about 4 hours away, to her so that she can actually drive her vehicle. So I rushed around, jumped in my van and hit the road. This is the bridge over the Waitaki River. It's 914 metres long. So you used to play a game where you try and hold your breath until you're over the bridge. Unless you're the driver, of course. This is a typical little town, a service station, a convenience store and a pub. It seems to be what most of the little towns have. This massive contraption on the right is for irrigation of the fields. A lot of the farms here are dairy farms, so they need quite rich grass. So they use these big contraptions to spread the water over the paddocks to get them nice and green. I just filled up at the fuel station. I'm in Timaru. Got the essentials, got the coffee in my refillable cup, and I'm in Spy. So I've just pulled over to the side of the road so I can eat my lunch, and it is the classic mince and cheese pie. So this is a meat pie. So what I missed, it's great pre and post hiking food. And my coffee. I use a reusable cup. But that is a flat white, a specialty from New Zealand, Australia and South Africa. Sort of like a latte, but less foam in it. And I got that from the service station. So, lunchtime. So that's what the pie looks like. It's mince and gravy at the bottom, and then there's a layer of cheese at the top of it just before the pastry. Yum. After lunch, I leave Timaru and finally turn off State Highway 1, our main route through the length of New Zealand, and off on a side road heading towards Fairlie. There's a few small towns to pass through on the way. Not sure if the camera's picking this up, but those are big snowy mountains in front. It's spring, and I would have expected a lot of the snow to be gone, but I think just a couple of days ago there was a big snow dump. So there's nice fresh snow on all the mountains. Woo! Gorgeous. Entering Pleasant Point, reasonable sized settlement. As you can see, it's got the dairy, which is what we call a convenience store, service station, and this is a bigger town, so got a vet there as well, and a little weeny shopping centre. But yeah, sort of a typical small town. There's probably about 2,000 people that live there, if that, and a whole lot of buses over to the side and back onto the open road again. 100 k's an hour is the limit. And this is a pig farm, so free range pig farm. Welcome to the town of Fairlie. This is one of the biggest towns in this area. Well developed shopping centre. It's agriculture based, all the farming, a little bit of tourism as well. In winter it's sort of the big town before a whole lot of ski fields, so it's pretty busy, and in summer you've got a lot of the tourist traffic. So that was the town. There's Lake Tekapo ahead of me, and another 2 kilometres of the main town itself, but I am turning off to get to the campground where Mum is. This is the entrance to the Lake Tekapo park for New Zealand Motor Caravan Association. They've got parks all over the country that members can use for $3 a night. And before I go in, I put on my Campervan Association signs. So one goes in the windscreen, other sign and my self-containment go on the back, and my self-containment certificate goes in the front. And these are just on magnets so that they can come on and off. There we go. Now I got my wings on. Now I have to try and find Mum in amongst all of the vans. Wow, it's empty. I haven't seen it so empty in a long time. In summer, this place, it's absolutely packed. So Mum helped me out a lot when I was on my hike, even cutting short one of their holidays. So now I get to pay her back, because these are the keys, spare keys to her van, which she lost taking the dogs for a walk. There were circumstances, but anyway, here's my mum, and here's the keys. So yay! I paid her back. So this is what I do to get my bike out each time I want to go for a ride. It's not the quickest, but at least I get to keep my bike inside where it's secure. So my helmet just lives on a little hook against the wall. And the Allen key has just got a little holder over there as well. That's the trouble with these through axles. They are a little bit of a pain to take off, as opposed to the quick release like bikes used to have. I was away from cycling for about 5 years, came back to buy a bike, and so many things had changed, and this is one of them. And I have to do the front one first to turn the handlebars. So that I can slide my rack out. Right. One wheel. Now I have to do the same thing and take off the back. This one's easier because I can actually go all the way around with the Allen key. There we go, that's out. And my tyre's held in with Velcro. So that's the back tyre. It's easy to remember because the skinny one is the back tyre. And I leave a spacer in my brakes, so if I accidentally hit my brake handles, I can still get my tyre on each time. Alright, and done. You'll notice my tyres are flat. It's been sitting in my bike for a while. Making sure to always put this back so I don't lose it. Now I pump my tyres up. Oh, and my shoes. My shoes just hang up on two little hooks here. Nice and out of the way. My sunglasses are always kept in there as well.
Don't lose your keys.
Keys are in a zip pocket. So final thing before I get up is I've got to put my seat back up. And I've got a dropper post, and that means I just flick that and my seat's up to the perfect height. Alright. This is my first mountain bike ride in a long time, so I'm just taking it easy, and I am just going to do the most basic of loops following the easy trail. I'll see how I'm feeling, whether I head back that way or if I decide to do the outside loop to go back to there. I don't want to push it. Haven't been on a bike in a long time. A whole lot of different muscles from hiking. So off into the forest, up that way. Great mower track. It's a pretty easy track. This is graded as easy. There is a little bit that's going to be a bit more advanced. So you do have to dodge the pine cones on the track. old lookout track, and it's pretty impressive. Bit of a climb to get up here. That's Lake Tekapo. Beautiful, beautiful colour with the Southern Alps going along there. Woo! And Tekapo is just at the end there. Oh wow! It's a track and just a nice seat. Yeah, and just alpine tussock land. Pretty cool. Right next to the Campervan park is this really neat dog exercise area with a big fence so the dogs can race off to their heart's delight. These are Mum's dogs. We've got Toby, is the older Jack Russell, and we've got Susie here. She's a Maltese Chihuahua, but she's the rough tough dog. And then the wimpy dog is the younger Jack Russell Maltese cross, disappearing into the distance as normal. So normally the water is right up to here, but I have never seen this lake so low. So luckily there's a whole lot of snow up in the hills to fill it up when it melts. Sheesh. Spring! And the little flowers, and we got a daffodil. See, just because I finished the trail, still doing some flowers. So it's a shepherd and a sheepdog, and that is the Fairley Bakehouse, which is the home of some pretty good pies. It's pretty famous around the place. That is a good looking pie. Woohoo! So this is a pork belly and apple. I decided to get something slightly different. Oh, that is one good pie. Look at that big chunky pieces of meat. The pork is local. There's lots of pig farms around this area. And the apples come from only a couple of hours away, so everything's pretty fresh. I just realised this thing sitting on top, it's pork crackling. Oh, it's beautiful. And of course, had to have the coffee with the pie. Another flat white and another great coffee. I love being back in New Zealand for the consistently good coffee.